Recently, I put out a video about my latest beer, a quick lager that was ready to drink in 11 days using a combination of pressure fermentation and gelatin fining. I've since received requests asking for more details about what I did, so I went back to the editing booth, it's just my PC really, and came up with this doozy of a video. So if you're ready for a deep dive into how I made that quick lager, stick around and I'll show you what I did. Hello and welcome back. As many of you already know, I recently posted a video about a quick lager I made, a very tasty and refreshing lager by the way, in a fraction of the time it would have taken for a traditional fermentation and lagering process. I did this using a combination of room temperature pressure fermentation to replace the much longer refrigerated fermentation process, and gelatin fining, which replaced the weeks and maybe months of lagering time required to clear the beer. Rather than having to wait 8 to 12 weeks for a traditional lager, I cut that time down to 11 days, and I'm here to tell you all about it. It all started on a hot July afternoon. I had to decide upon a lager recipe. After reviewing a number of recipes and beer style guidelines, as well as checking my inventory of ingredients, I decided to go with a Munich and designed a recipe that I thought would taste great in the summer heat. Brew day went well. Since it was an experimental batch, at least for me, I decided to forego my 10-gallon system and fire up, plug in actually, my Grainfather to make a smaller 5-gallon batch. I didn't make any water adjustments as the beer style I chose prefers a softer water. I used a multi-step mash schedule that included an acid rest to lower the pH, a beta amylase rest, an alpha amylase rest, and a mash out step. Although not specific to brewing a quick lager, I wanted to show you an enhancement I made to the Grainfather. A while back I learned from David Heath's YouTube channel that a Robobrew false bottom fits inside the Grainfather almost perfectly, which helps to limit the clogging of the small intake filter at the bottom. So I bought one. It was money well spent. Using this along with another new tool, the Hangover and its hop spider attachment, I was able to prevent much of the hops from clogging the pump filter, which permitted the counterflow wort chiller to run at full flow, a recurring problem with past brews on the Grainfather. The first trick I used to speed up the grain to glass process for this lager was to use room temperature pressurized fermentation to speed up the fermentation process by reducing the time it takes to ferment from 2 to 3 weeks or longer to just a few days without causing off flavors. Normally you'd ferment a lager at a controlled cooler cold temperature, typically from around 48 to 58 degrees Fahrenheit or 9 to 15 degrees Celsius, depending upon the yeast strain used. However, the use of a pressure vessel for fermentation allows a much faster, vigorous fermentation at elevated temperatures without any noticeable ill effect. I used a Spike Flex Plus as my pressure vessel, but I could also have used my Fermentosaurus or even a corny keg with a spunning valve attached to keep pressure from getting too high. The Spike Flex Plus maxed out at 15 psi or 1 bar or 103 kilopascals for you on the metric system, so I didn't need a spunning valve for it. I allowed it to sit for a few days more for the diacetyl rest and to ensure complete fermentation. Time spent so far, 6 days. Time saved, about 2 weeks. After fermentation was done, I closed system racked the partially carbonated beer to a keg. I used the closed system pressure transfer method to avoid exposing the beer to the air, as well as to keep it from foaming up during transfer. I put it in the fridge and chilled it to serving temperature for a full day. After 24 hours, I boiled a 1/4 cup of water to sanitize it. Then I let it cool before adding a 1/2 teaspoon of gelatin and stirring it in. I removed the keg from the fridge, removed the lid, and added the gelatin. Then I reattached the lid and purged the headspace with CO2. Then I hooked up the gas and beverage line and put the keg into the kegerator for 2 more days. Time spent lagering, 3 days. Time saved, 6 to 8 weeks or more. It only took a couple more days to fully carbonate my beer instead of a full week, since it was already partially naturally carbonated from the pressurized fermentation process earlier. Time to finish carbonating, 2 days. Typically, about a week. On the 11th day, I began drinking it and was amazed. Mostly clear and absolutely refreshing, I immediately knew I had a winner while having saved a ton of time. Adding up all the numbers, the time savings became abundantly clear. For a typical lager, you got 3 weeks of fermentation, 6+ weeks of lagering, 1 week of carbonation, for a total of 10 weeks, which is about 2.5 months or more. With the quick lager method, 11 days or less. People out there claiming to have done it in 3 days, 5 days, right? I took 11 days and I was even rushing it. You can see the results right here. Clear, refreshing beer, and done quickly. I received a question about how I came up with this method. It's not my method. I did not come up with this. Many others have already pioneered and paved the way for this over the past several years or more. And I raise my glass to all of them for all their efforts. My only contribution is that finally, after several years of reading and watching others do it, that I finally gave it a try myself. And am sharing my experiences with you. And I'm glad I did. I hope this information was helpful for you. If you have any comments or questions, put them down in the comment section down below. And if you like my video, don't forget to give me that thumbs up. I'm off to finish this beer. Until next time, see you later. Thanks for watching. Be sure to check out other videos on my YouTube channel and don't forget to subscribe.